Imran Khan, thank you very much for inviting us into your house, but perhaps I should say it's a lair, because although you are the world's greatest all-rounder, and that's a cricketing term, you are also known as the world's greatest heartthrob. What is it with you that produces this fantastic urge for girls to beat a path to your door?
I have read more about it, quite a few things in your columns, you know, but I don't know whether the girls consider it a lair or anything. I've just tried to make it as comfortable for myself as possible.
You've had some eminently, shall we say, eligible girlfriends. There was Emma Sargent, who you remember. She's a beautiful girl. She's a very established artist. Her father,
married.
Now happily married. We all thought you'd marry her. Then you went out with Lady Lisa Campbell, whose father, Lord Cawdor, is a direct descendant of Macbeth, and we were hoping that they were
happily married.
Oh, you see, the Imran Khan school, as soon as they leave you, they go off and marry. And most recently, when you were last abroad on a tour, Susanna Constantine, who's best known for going out with Viscount Linley, Princess Margaret, kept on appearing where you were playing, and suddenly, lo and behold, she was in Pakistan with you. Obviously, these are very good friends, and you're flattered by the beauty of the women with you, but you clearly haven't yet felt that you've met the person you want to marry.
No, there's a problem again. I actually don't believe that, you know, I can give my time to marriage. You know, all my friends are divorced, without exception. One of them 3 times, my closest friend. I mean, it's not
a good example.
I've seen them sort of go through all the phases of marriage, you know, where they were happy, and they used to tell me, listen, this is the thing to do, and then children, which probably was, from what I could gather, the most satisfying aspect, especially for women. But for men, you know, it can be an ego thing, because, you know, they like to see their own replica in this world and then want him to do all the things they couldn't do. But for me, marriage has always been something that one must enter with eyes open, and one must make sure that, you know, one is ready to give the time it needs. I think there's a lot of problem when couples separate, but the children are the main people who suffer. And I think that unless and until parents are ready for marriage and know that they have to get the responsibility to the children, like my mother brought me and my sisters up, like I've seen my sisters bring their children up. I think unless and until people have that dedication, they shouldn't enter into marriage. I don't think I have that dedication.
Has there also been a pressure in Pakistan for you to marry, because you're 38, you're eminently eligible, you're single? Would, in your mother's days, it would have been perhaps obvious that you would have had to have an arranged marriage?
Well, put it this way, in Pakistan, the only way for 99% of the people to get married is an arranged marriage.
Did your family actually present you with any suitable fiancés?
There was one particular girl my mother used to like a lot. And she was my sister's friend, my younger sister's friend. And so whenever, you know, she used to come to visit my younger sister, my mother always said, look, have a look at her and tell me if you find her attractive. And I used to be so shy, I couldn't look at the girl. Finally, she got married. 10 years later, she came to a birthday party, and my sister asked me to sort of make an appearance there. And it was the first time I saw her 10 years later, and I thought, God, she's really pretty.
A missed opportunity. You're obviously a very devout Muslim, you don't drink alcohol. Is it possible that you would marry a European, even an English girl?
Well, for a Muslim to marry a Christian or a Jew is quite allowed in the Quran. I mean, it's not...
there's no religious...
There's no problem as far as religion goes. My problem right now is about marriage itself.
You've obviously thought beyond cricket, and after the World Cup in January, what do you intend to do? Is politics a possibility? Because you have an enormous following in Pakistan, all sporting heroes do, and you're probably the greatest sporting hero of the moment.
Well, Nigel, I did think of politics. I mean, General Zia offered me a ministership. I did think about it, and I realized that, you know, I am not meant to be a politician there. I strongly believe that everyone has a different role in society. If you want to help your society, there are various ways to do it. Not everyone becomes a prime minister to help his country. In fact, ever since my mother died 6 years ago, The only thing I'm doing is a cancer hospital in Lahore. And I have to say that I wasn't born a very charitable person, or I never thought of charities, or if someone had predicted 6 years ago that this is what I would become, I would have thought he was mad.
You're half in the east and half in the west, and it's displayed here in your apartment in Chelsea. Where are the paintings from?
Most of them are from Pakistan. There are a few from a friend of mine, Emma Sargent. She painted a few.
In Pakistan, or did she paint them here?
No, here, except for one painting there, which is one of an Afghan woman. She resembles very much like my mother, so it's my favorite painting.
Your last cricket expedition is going to be the World Cup to Australia and New Zealand. What's going to happen to Imran Khan after that?
Well, I hope you're going to win it first, and then afterwards I'm going to launch the biggest fundraising appeal in Pakistan, because nothing would make Pakistanis give money to my hospital more than us winning the World Cup. That's my immediate future. For the long-term future, I've now reached a stage in my life I've stopped predicting it or planning it, because it never works out the way I plan.
Well, if England don't win the World Cup, we fervently hope that Pakistan does, just so that your fundraising will be boosted. Thank you very much, Imran Khan.